Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Craft Holsters fully Kydex holster for the 1911. This is an inside the waistband holster. I requested something that was concealable, even though this is a fairly large gun, right? It's got the 5-inch barrel. The place where I'm carrying it is in the hollow of the ass, right? So basically the ball joint is over here, butt's back here, so there's a hollow over there where this large frame gun can sit pretty comfortably, okay? So before we start talking about the holster, we're just gonna practice our draw stroke. The way we're gonna do this, we're gonna put the hand on chest, okay, pull the gun, rotate it, join, extend, flip the safety off, flip the safety back on, come back in, all right, and then clear our garment, right, and get the gun back in the holster, okay? I'll do it this way so you guys can see what I'm doing with my thumb. With the 1911, when you know, because it has that thumb safety, the thumb has to ride on top of your thumb safety because that's the only way you're going to be absolutely sure that your safety is off. So, put my hand on my chest. I'm going to draw, join, extend, find my sights, get them on target, flip the safety down, flip the safety back up, come back in, clear my garment, get the gun back in the holster, okay? So we're gonna load the gun up now. We'll take a couple of shots with this holster. Safety, lock the gun open. Put the magazine in. Safety on. Okay, so let's go over here. All right, come up, clear. Safety back on. You want to practice this repetitively. Be careful that your just make sure your clothes don't end up inside your holster because that's going to jam you up. Fortunately, that's a fact of when you're in the wintertime. You got the jacket on, you got a sweater underneath. I'm using my pinky here to clear my jacket out of the way. Okay, I'll turn around and show you guys how I grab my pinky to get jacket out of the way so I can reholster. Okay, so come back. So the gun's empty. So the way like I said earlier, I'm gonna grab my pinky. That pinky is gonna grab my jacket. I'm gonna clear the garment, get it in the holster. Okay. All right. So now that's how I get the gun. So let me take this off and let's talk a little bit more about this holster. Now I'm using the Rock Island 1911. Okay. All right. So this is the Rock Island is very close to the original design, right, for the 1911. Okay, this is very close to the original design. Over here, I have a Taurus 1911. Okay, Now with the Taurus, it is a little bit thicker, so it is a little bit more snug. It does fit it, but there's definitely a difference as far as getting it into it. Now this holster is adjustable. Now we're going to talk about that in a moment. It is right now set to the widest possible setting. So in the widest possible setting, the Taurus PT 1911 is a lot tighter. Okay. So let me take this out. Take the holster out, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this holster. Show you guys a close-up of it. Now, when we're talking about 1911s, there's a lot of them out there made by different companies, okay? So, with this, you can see, like I said, this is the Rock Island 1911. This is the Taurus. Okay, this one has the safety on both sides. It's got the citrations here for the, so that you can pinch this open. I have a set of calipers here. So with a set of calipers, right, if you measure this out, what you'll see is that the Taurus PT 1911, right, comes out to 0.930, okay? And then when you compare that to the Rock Island 1911, this comes out to 0.910, okay? So there's a difference of like 0.020, which is basically the width of a business card, okay? Which can be significant. The nice thing about this, Craft Holsters holster here, and this one's made by the manufacturer is Falco, is that it's adjustable. They've got the screws over here with the little rubber in between. Now, in order to get it to fit on this Rock Island 1911, I had to set it to the absolute widest possible setting. So basically, it's almost as if though there's no screws there, because I can actually turn these screws with my finger over here. That's how loose I had to get these. And what I would recommend is once you get this to where you want it to be, you're gonna have to Loctite this, because otherwise these things are gonna they are gonna unscrew and fall out at some point. So you would have to Loctite these into place. But in order to get fit my Rock Island 1911, I had to get this to the widest possible setting, as if though there was almost no screws here, to get this to comfortably fit in there. Right now, you'll see that even in this setting, it's pretty snug. Now, mind you, when you put this inside your waistband and you pull your belt tight, this is going to get a little bit tighter. Okay, so however tight you set this to, once you pull your belt over, it's going to get a little bit tighter. With my Taurus 1911, when I put this in there, I mean, you can see how this just bulges out. Okay, bulges. So this is much tighter. Now, one of the significant differences I think here is that the safety. If I compare the safeties of these two guns, right? First of all, the Rock Island only has the safety on the left side, which is the original design, but you can also see how the safety on the Taurus is much longer, sticks out more. So that is going to make a difference, okay? Because with the Taurus, when I put the, you can see how it hits it right away over there, and then it kind of starts stretching it out a little bit, okay? So this definitely fits the Rock Island much better. And of course, the Rock Island being more of the original GI version. So that's just something that you guys are going to have to test out, because lots of different companies make 1911s, and every company, there's going to be some slight variation from company to company. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is about how this clips onto your belt. That's basically the belt loop over here. Okay. This is attached by two rivets over here. One of the things that I do not like about this holster, right, is this space right here, right? You see the space in here? Okay, that empty space is where your pants go, right? So your pants come up through here, and that's almost the size of my pinky. That's unnecessary space, okay, which adds to the thickness of this holster unnecessarily. So if I had to make a recommendation to Craft Holsters and Falco, it would be to eliminate this extra unnecessary space, because this space over here only needs to be the thickness of your pants. And I don't think anybody wears pants that are that thick, right? The pants are thin. They're like the size of, I don't know, my sleeve over here, right? So when it goes in there, you can see how much extra unnecessary space is in there, right? So this should be modified a little bit. That's the only thing I don't like about this holster, is that it is the way the clip is set up. It makes the holster unnecessarily thick at this point over here. All right. So let's get this holster back on. Talk a little bit more about it. The way you're gonna put this holster on is you're gonna undo your belt. You're gonna come, because I'm carrying in the hollow of my ass back here. You're gonna basically undo your belt to that point. Okay. I'm gonna take the holster. I'm gonna basically clip it over there, and then I'm gonna take the belt and I'm gonna run it through that belt loop, if I can find it. it through the belt loop. Oops, no, missed it. There it goes, got it through. I'm gonna go through here, go through here. Excellent. Okay, so at that point, you put your unloaded gun in the holster. Okay, so here's the thing. I normally, what I would do at this point is, okay, now I would take the gun out, the unloaded gun out. I would lock the gun open. Okay, I would put my magazine in. All right, get the magazine in there. Put the magazine in. Right. I would bring the slide forward, put my safety on. Right. And get the gun in the holster. Now, I want to use this opportunity to talk about the 4 carry conditions of a 1911. Okay. And this is important because now we're going to get into something slightly different. You know, there's a lot of discussion on the internet about how safe it is to carry 1911s. This goes all the way back to to when the gun was first invented, right? Back to World War I. Back in World War I, a lot of GIs did not carry the 1911 with a round in the chamber. And the reason is because the holsters had not caught up with the gun technology at that point. So today, for example, when I carry a Glock, I carry it only in the Kydex holster, which protects the trigger guard, right? So that's the function. That's one of the functions of a Kydex holster, to protect the trigger guard. So the fact that this is a Kydex holster, it completely negates the safety concerns that existed back in 1911 with regards to carrying a 1911, because there was 4 conditions, right? Condition 3, right, is full magazine, okay, no round in the chamber, okay. And then what you would do is that as you would come up, actually let me get the magazine out so this will work better, right? So basically no round in the chamber, right? Your hammer would be down, you just put the magazine in. Condition 3 is basically when you go to the gun, what you do is you come up, you run your slide, right, and then you're ready to shoot, right? That's condition 3. Condition 2, right, you put your magazine in, right? So you put the magazine in, okay, put a round in the chamber. Obviously, I got nothing in there right now. Round the chamber, and then you manually lower the hammer, okay? This is not something I recommend. Very few people that carry 1911s carry it this way. And the way it goes with condition 2 is when you come out of the holster, okay, you use your thumb to basically cock the hammer, and then you come up, and then you would, basically your thumb still need to go on top of the thumb safety. And the reason is because, you want to make sure that safety is down, okay? So that's condition 2. You have to manually cock the hammer, okay? Condition 1. Condition 1 is you have you put your magazine in, you put around the chamber, you flip your safety on, right, and then you holster the gun, okay? So this is the way that most people carry their 1911, round the chamber, thumb safety on, and a lot of people are not, as I have talked to a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that, and the reason is because the thumb safety on the 1911 will sometimes get knocked off, okay? If you're carrying it in a leather holster or in a fabric holster, that can be an issue. But if you're carrying it in a Kydex holster that protects the trigger guard, like this Craft Holsters holster over here, that's not an issue, right? Because given that you have that given that it protects the trigger guard, I can carry this gun in condition 0. Okay, condition 0 is basically simply round the chamber, safety off. Okay, and now you're depending on just the holster to protect the trigger guard. Of course, the 1911 also has the back strap safety. But the point I'm bringing out here is carrying a 1911 in condition 0 with the thumb safety off is just as safe as carrying your Glock or your M&P or any other striker fired gun. Okay, you're depending on the holster to protect the trigger guard. So now with the 1911, I don't think there's any added benefit to carrying it in condition 0 intentionally with the safety off. Okay, and what I would do is I would just carry it with the safety on. The reason is when you come out, your thumb needs to ride on top of that safety anyway, because if you don't, there's too much of a chance that, hey, maybe the safety's on, right? Or maybe if your thumb is riding underneath it, you know, maybe something happens, you get knocked and you accidentally push up on the safety and you flip the safety on when you don't want it to be on. So that's why, regardless if you're carrying this in condition 1 or in condition 0, right, what you're going to do is you're going to ride your thumb on top of the safety. And like I said, there's no reason to use condition 0. You know, there's no reason not to have that thumb safety on, since your thumb needs to go on top of it anyway. So you come out, right, put the safety off, safety back on, goes back into the holster. So let's take this holster off one more time. Now, before I go forward, let's talk about using a restroom with a large gun like this, okay? Because here's the thing. The way I have this set up, if I go to use the restroom, right, and I undo my belt, pull my pants down, this heavy gun is definitely going to fall off my belt, and I don't want the holster basically falling on the ground. So the way I use a restroom with this is I'll undo my belt. I'll pull the belt back through the belt loop. Okay, I'll take the gun, you know, off. It stays in the holster. Okay. Now, I never want to rest this gun on a surface like this, all right, in the bathroom, because the reason is if I put this on the surface, there's a good chance I'm going to forget it. So what I will typically do with a gun like this is I will take it and I will put it inside my pants, right, inside the, you know, it's still inside this holster, inside my pants, and it's now controlled. I can now lower my pants and use the toilet if I need to use the toilet, okay? And this also applies when I'm at my house, right, because in my own home, I have small children. Okay, so if I'm carrying the gun, right, and I'm going to use a restroom, I will never ever put the gun on a surface, because sooner or later, like maybe 1 in a million times, eventually I will forget it there. So the gun is in one of 2 places. It's either on my body or it's in a safe, and that's it. There's no in between. Okay, I think the only exception to that is if I need to go into like some type of a federal building or a government building where I'm not allowed to bring a gun in. Basically, I have to leave it in the car, you know, and in that case, the gun never comes out of the holster, because the holster, okay, is part of the safety mechanism. I don't want to, you know, especially if I'm out in the parking lot or something, I never want to, you know, fumble with trying to unload the gun in an uncomfortable setting, okay? Because, you know, especially if I'm concerned about maybe somebody might see me or people wondering what I'm doing, you know, that's when I'm most likely to make a mistake. So for that reason, this gun stays in the holster, okay, until I'm ready to actually shoot the gun. Right, and as you can see here, you see how that trigger guard, how the plastic covers the trigger guard. Okay, that's an important safety feature here. Another thing that I like is you see how this, the plastic of the holster comes up and it covers that, it covers the thumb safety switch. Okay, that's also a feature that I really like. Okay, so I really like this holster. The main issue that I have with it is this space over here. That's unnecessary space. Okay, that doesn't need to be that thick. That just makes this unnecessarily wider. The other recommendation I would make is it'd be great if this did go a little bit wider than it does, because although it fits this Rock Island holster very good, does not fit the Taurus PT 1911 as well as it does this. So it'd be nice if it did go maybe a little bit wider. So now let's talk about putting this gun back on. Okay, so going back to the situation, I'm in the restroom. I have the gun inside the holster, inside my pants. All right, pull my pants up. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the gun. I'm going to clip this on the inside of my pants there, where it's going to be. Take the belt, run it through the loop like that. And there we go. Okay. Like I said earlier, I was carrying this gun around for about a week. If you're walking around, very comfortable. The only time I felt a little uncomfortable is if I'm sitting in a car, okay? But that's not a holster problem. That's a big gun problem. Because this has the 5-inch barrel, the barrel is going to come down, right? And when you sit down, it's going to kind of, it's going to hit the seat a little bit. The other thing is, because it's a large gun, the grip over here is going to hit the seat, right? The back of the seat. It's going to maybe want to make it push forward a little bit. I have seen some other holster designs where they kind of cant the gun forward a little bit like that. But the way the gun works is if you cant the gun forward, now you've got the muzzle sticking out backwards over here. So now because right now this is comfortable running straight down my leg. If this was a cantable design, it would flip back a little bit over here. Yeah, now this is more comfortable up here if I'm sitting down, but now the barrel's in a less comfortable position. So, but that's not a holster problem. That's just a big gun problem. If you're using the smaller 1911, that's going to be less of an issue. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to put some links below to Craft Holsters website for this holster. In case you guys want to check it out. The holster costs about $90. Okay, so it's I mean, I like it. Except for those two issues, really one issue that I mentioned. It's a little wider than I think it needs to be. I think at the point where the clip attaches to the holster itself. So I'm going to put a link below in case you guys want to check out the site. And I want to give a thanks to Craft Holsters for sending this holster here to the channel for us to test out and do this review for you guys. So thanks again, and if you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.